All right, and good evening once again, fellow Tofu'ers, and welcome back to another episode of Anime Tofu. We are the crime-stopping team who still don't mess with 12, bro. I don't care what. We might stop crime.
Hey,
But we ain't mess with 12. We went through that. No snitch where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I'm your host, Methodical One, back again with my two crime-stopping friends. Mr. Longbeard, welcome back, buddy.
It's good to be back, bro. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you back. And the person whose psychopath that I should probably take away because of, turkey pizza, Mr. Daddy Bojangles.
Hey, that was a reference to our latest Nerdy Reads podcast where we reviewed the DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza. Shameless plug. Go check it out.
There you go.
The crazy thing is I don't know if it was a shameless plug for Nerdy Reads or a shameless plug for the pizza. Like, man,
it was something.
It was an interesting bite, that's for sure.
It's definitely something. So before we get started, we know you all are going to be watching this, so have a happy Thanksgiving. And actually, you know what? I'm going to save it to the end. I was going to say something about Thanksgiving, but I'm going to save it for the final word because
sure,
it needs to be something ridiculous. So we're going to save it for the final word.
There you go.
Our question of the day is this. If y'all can remember, which world would you rather be in? Minority Report. Y'all remember the Tom Cruise? If you were doing a crime, they already know prior to you getting there. Judge Dredd, which I'm not talking, I guess if you want to take the Sylvester Stallone one, but personally, I like the last one that they made with Carl Urban. Phenomenal. To where, you don't get a trial. They just figure it out right then and there. And you either live, get cuffed, or take a bullet. So there's that. And of course, there's Blade Runner. Cyberpunk-esque. Your best friend may or may not be a synthetic human, Also in that world is Terminator and Alien, supposedly. So there you go. Which one do you choose?
I'm going to go with Blade Runner because Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Nice.
And I haven't seen these movies in a decade or more, but I feel like Blade Runner is the one that's the least scary to me. I mean, they all would be terrifying.
Oh, you mean in the world that Terminator and aliens exist?
Sure.
Okay, bro, I'll tell you.
But I mean, I'm saying it sounds like to me that Minority Report, you get convicted before they even come to your house. That would be terrible. And then Judge Dredd, I have seen that movie recently, and that just, so can't go right with any of these answers. So Harrison Ford.
I'll tell you what, dude, if Justin's going to go Harrison Ford, I'll pick Blade Runner just so I can be Ken from Barbie.
Fair enough. And that movie was really good. Sad that a lot of people didn't see it. I'm gonna take Judge Dredd, bro. I mean, let's get political here. As a black man in America, that's what it's like anyway. So you need no different than normal for me, buddy. So At least you get to see cool robots and other super weird things. So I'll take it.
There you go.
He's right, though. They all are pretty much the same. And I mean, that's leading us in today's Tofu Bite, bro. Chosen by Mr. Longbeard himself. It's one that kind of slipped through the radars for me, bro. I didn't even know, I didn't pay any attention to this. Today's Tofu Bite is brought to you by Psychopaths. So, basically, Psychopaths takes place in the near future where it's possible to measure and quantify somebody's personal state of mind, hence the Psychopaths, through the, what do they call it, the Sybil system?
Yeah, the Sybil system.
So what goes on is we meet a young lady whose name, Tsunemori, and she's new to a team that's already existed. So basically, she just wants to uphold justice. Well, during their first outing together, Sybil system starts to get a little bit weird. And, well, here we go. It's the start of it.
Yeah, dude, it's like set in a near dystopian future. And to touch on the Sybil system a little bit, it's like essentially what the whole psychopath is just you're under a continuous mental evaluation. Everywhere you go, no matter where you're at, you're constantly being evaluated by how you could break, how your mental break could happen. And Sybil somehow, you're just being tracked all the time. And that's just it. Like it taps into this information available and like starts judging you as like an individual threat level to society is what the psychopath is. It reminded me a lot of Minority Report.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we already got that. That's what X is for. But anyway, let's keep moving. It's older anime, in case you missed it. Started in 2012. 3 seasons, dub sub. I actually didn't check to see where it was. I watched it on Crunchyroll, but I think it's on other things as well. I think it's on Hulu, if I'm right, and it may be on. Well, if it's on Hulu, then it's on Disney. So there you go.
That's not, yeah. I got very, you know, it kind of reminded me of a couple things. Ghost in the Shell. I got some good vibes there.
Yep.
For sure. And then, you know, it's hard not to compare something like this to Cyberpunk to some degree, like just the world itself, and some of the vibe of that. Not saying it's the same thing by any means, because it's not from what I've seen so far, but just even the way that when they go to that, whatever that block is, just reminded me of something you would see in Cyberpunk. And so Ghost in the Shell, Cyberpunk, even that one character reminded me a little bit of Cowboy Bebop stuff. So it's like, I mean, she's got a good little blend of a lot of cool things in this one.
So apparently, I'm sorry.
There was like a little bit of the Cowboy Bebop in the opening too. You had that dude Justin was talking about and some random guy, and they definitely had like Spike Vicious vibes to him, like our destinies have led us here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what's up, Cowboy Bebop? And then they're gone. And then nothing else is mentioned. So I guess that's just like a little teaser for people who maybe had read the manga before they got to the show. Just like, hey, we are going to touch on this, but I'm interested in that more than I was anything that happened in this entire episode.
Okay. Well, apparently the manga was written. This goes back to the question of the day. The manga was written based upon Blade Runner. Hence why that was one of the worlds that I chose, because it's very similar to Blade Runner's world. And of course, you know, it gives any Neo Tokyo vibes, you know, as far as like it feels Akira-ish as far as the whole like feel of the show. You know, things like that. So it ain't surprising. And Ghost in the Shell was almost perfect, because I mean a lot of things that Standalone Complex does, I noticed in Psychopaths. Let's get into it, boys. Let's talk about it. See how this bite was.
So one thing I like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
One thing I did like is, and I feel like we've seen movies like this before, where you see like criminals or whatever it was that they called those guys, psychos or whatever, that they were utilizing to go and fight other psychos for whatever reason. I mean, I thought that was kind of interesting. It's kind of cool, because I'm sure we'll hear some backstory about why these people are in the position that they're in the more we watch this, especially those main two that we saw with the girl. And so I thought that was a cool thing. It's a cool concept. It's fun.
I'd like to know what their motivation for doing that is. Like, that was these criminals, and
there has to be a thing.
Yeah, like and the one guy kept saying like, hey, we got to earn our paycheck. So they're even paying these criminals.
Yeah. I wonder if it's time or something, like, hey, shorten your time. That's what in my mind, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
I think that these dudes were masterminds of what they did. And what it is that they served their time, but they put them on before the Sybil system started. And I wouldn't be surprised if they also operate outside of the civil system, to where the psychopath is paying attention to everybody except for people on that team.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Suicide Squad type ordeal.
I can see that.
well, they had those. They had their guns with the enforcer gun, I think it's called.
Judge
And
Dredd.
it'll either paralyze or it'll transform. If someone's psycho level gets so high, it'll just kill them outright. Which gruesome scene, by the way.
Dude.
I just wonder if like probably just about any cyberpunkish deal, hackers just kind of win, right? Like you hack into the civil system or you hack into that gun or whatever. I assume there's going to be some hacker type character in this show down the line that's just like OP.
Well, that's a question I want to get into a little bit later. It's funny that you bring it up because when you talk about Ghost in the Shell, that was basically what happened. That was the first character, the Laughing Man. He hacked everybody's system so nobody could ever see his face and nobody knew who he was. And you would always see the laughing emoji on his face, which is crazy because it wasn't called an emoji back in the day. But I'm gonna get into that. I got a question about that I'm gonna save until a little bit later. Let's start with a question. How do y'all feel about this whole Big Brother aspect? Because I mean, let's basically say that's exactly what it is. It's Big Brother. Like, do you feel like it's kind of intrusive that everybody is always online?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
But I feel like we're kind of doing that now, probably to some degree, without doing it, right? Our
Cell phones? Yeah, cell phones. Right. Right.
I mean, they pretty much know
I
where
mean,
you are.
we're doing it to some degree, and yeah, you could be tracked. If you have a cell phone, they can find you anywhere you're at, for sure. But nothing to the level of like, hey, your mood changed going through this red light. Now we need to come arrest you because we don't like the way your thoughts are going or whatever craziness is happening. And
I mean, I don't like that for sure.
But you know what's crazy? Remember when it was COVID, they was doing that with COVID. They could tell if you were out here spreading whatchamacallit. Remember you have to update on the cell phone, and the cell phone could tell if you had been around somebody that had contacted COVID because it was tracing your location. That's wild, dog.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, this is like that next level Big Brother stuff.
Like the whole psychopath thing where, like, for instance, one of the victims in the show, like, she's a straight up victim. Obviously her psyche is going to be all over the place. She just had this traumatic event happen to her and like, oh, we need to take her in. And at even one point the gun transformed to kill this lady who just went through this traumatic event. So it's like, I see what the show did there. They wanted to create this morally gray system and they succeeded in that.
Because they were ready that one dude was ready to end her.
Kill her. Yeah. Without even thinking.
It was more than one dude. It was way more than one dude. I mean, the team was doing what they was told to do.
Yeah. It's like, all right, this is it. I mean, she's beyond this level. There's no saving her now. And in their mind, there was no going back. But old girl was like, no, let's hold out, and yeah. But you're right. It definitely made you question that. The way the system was. Obviously we would all question it anyway because we're like, oh, this is crazy, but that just showed, okay, already in episode 1 there's that, like you said, morally gray.
Moving on to the next question I have. Do y'all think the setting really adds to the show? Do you think that the cyberpunk aesthetic is needed? You think it could have been done basically now, or maybe just set just a little bit farther in the future, maybe 5 or 6 years from current time?
I like dystopian future stuff. So, I mean, the setting is one of the first things that drew me in. And I really like those like creepy police spots when she first gets to the scene, like how bright and lit up they were against like the dreary backdrop of everything else going on. I don't know. The setting was fine for me, dude.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I think it could work, I guess, in other areas, but it's easier for us, like, I think, to grasp that this is a thing in 2300 or wherever this is taking place.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Versus us to be able to, like we talked about cell phones, but we're nowhere near this. I mean, maybe we are, but it doesn't seem like it. We aren't. I don't see anything like this right now, so it's hard. It would be harder for me to really embrace that this is something in our time versus in the future like that. But yeah, I think the set and the setting's great. I like that cyberpunk style vibes, Ghost in the Shell style vibes. I think it works.
I mean, I agree. It probably could take place now. But I feel like the cyberpunk aesthetic adds a little bit more to it.
Sure.
The thing about cyberpunk things is it seems to be like, you talk about your Minority Reports, you talk about your Blade Runners, even your Judge Dredd's, the thriller aspect seems to take hold a lot deeper in those situations because the backdrop is usually really dreary and it's really, it's dark, it's usually damp. It seems like kind of hopeless. You know what I'm saying? Like it always seems like no matter what, it's just going to end up bad. Here's looking at you, Akira. Like it makes sense. I like it. I'm good. It's cool. Hopefully, we'll get to see some people with some cool cybernetics as well. It's not just cyberpunk in passing, and we get to see people with chips embedded in their skulls or arms and robotical legs. Let's see how this works out.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about techno future. We'll see what's up.
Well, simple question. We don't mess with 12. We already let that be known that we don't mess with 12 because it's just who we are. It's how we grew up. Would you be on this team though?
I mean, right now it's hard to say because I don't know what these dudes.
I don't know if these guys are the good guys, man.
These guys being forced into it. I don't know what the situation is there. I don't know what they're fighting for. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say off one episode. Our protagonist is like a rookie cop, and this is like her first assignment, and they're so short-staffed that the dude's like, hey, yo, like, we're not going to treat you like a rookie. Like, you got to do this. Like, there's no one here to help you. So that tells me right there they got staffing issues. Ain't nobody want to be a part of this team. I want to be a part of that team. They're not even staffed up, bro. They're using criminals to help them.
Yeah, I don't even know if she's a lead character.
I don't know either, dude.
Honestly. I don't either. You know what? I don't know either. I don't know if she's the lead character, if the guy. She was the focus of this particular episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the guy leading the team's the main character.
I think without spoiling the entire episode, she was the focus for a purpose. If she's not the lead character, it was like, hey, she had these dreams and delusions of grandeur, and she wanted to like make a difference this way, and she quickly learned this isn't how this world works, bro.
No, I think she's the main character. Because I think the only reason why I want to say I think she's the main character because they wouldn't have gave so much of a backstory if she wasn't the main character. And I think they want you to see it from somebody's eyes who is green. I mean, typical.
Sure.
I mean, it's typical and stuff like that. So, but hey, man, we watched Attack on Titan, and they didn't care who it was. They killed any and everybody. Hey, Kaiju number 8, same way. They didn't care either. So, I mean, like, hey, well, you ain't safe. So, you never know. She might catch a bullet in episode 2, bro, and we'll never hear about her again.
Now, I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I will be. This could be one of those shows where she's the lead character, but she's not the coolest character, which is so many anime.
99% of them.
It's like you have this main character, like, okay, and then like, but what are these like Levi? Like, you got
Levi.
You got the characters who are like the most BA characters on the whole entire show, but they're not the lead dude.
Like Sasuke to Naruto. Or you know what though, dude? Exception for the rule.
Nah, I ain't giving you Sasuke, bro. Like, just because of the way that entire series ended, I'm not giving you Sasuke. Well, I might give you Vegeta, not giving you Sasuke. That's garbage.
I'm not giving you Vegeta either.
Exception to the rule would be Fearin. The show, she's the main character, and she's definitely easily.
Exception to the rules, Spike Spiegel. What you talking about? Trigun, Ed. We can go down the list. There's a lot of main characters main charactering, bro, that are great. Our dude from The Bartender, hey, bro, he's a bad man, dog. Bad man.
I like that we're bringing him up now.
Yeah.
That's
Bad man,
hilarious.
dog. But I mean, it just depends, you know. She may not be because she's green. I guarantee you, she's not going to be the best character in the show. It's going to be impossible for her to be the best character because she's green. It's just like playing any video games. Usually, when you play video games where the main character is green, bro, they ain't never going to be the best character in the game.
That's true.
So
That's true.
but we'll see. Maybe we won't. Depends on how everybody feels. I got a next question. Do you think our main character, or who we think our main character is, Mr. Kune, was she right in her decision?
To save old girl?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Only because, you know, I mean, you saw the shift in the gun and it went from, hey, destroy this girl to save this girl and don't let her die. So I'm going to say, yeah, it was probably the right decision to make because it seemed as if they were just kind of going the black and white. Like, hey, whatever this gun says, do it. And she kind of stopped it into a place where it's like, well, maybe not though. Like, I mean, maybe some people are not beyond saving. So yeah, I think she throws a wrench in some of the way that they think and the way that they maybe do things. So,
Okay. Mr. Daddy Bo?
I agree with everything you just said. I couldn't have said it better myself. I firmly am on that same wavelength. I think like I mentioned earlier, that chick just went through like this traumatic experience and her personality changed. Like, oh, she's a threat to society. We got to off her. It's like, oh, nah, bro. So, no. That system's weird, dude. What a weird.
We're gonna get to that.
In fact, didn't they mention at the beginning of the episode, Homeboy was being targeted anyway? Like, yeah, he was a bad person, but he went through a traffic stop and he was forest green, whatever that means. So they had to go take him in.
There's a lot of unanswered questions after
Yeah,
that.
we do.
So, while I agree with you all that she definitely did the right thing, my question is about the way that she went about it because she shot dude, and that's on her own team.
But they told her that she could shoot them if they didn't obey her orders.
Right. But my thing is, with you being somebody brand new, how does it affect your role in that team?
I should let it be known, bro. I ain't no pushover. Yeah, I'm your boss. You take this bullet. You didn't listen to me. Get paralyzed. That's what happened.
Hey, at least it's almost like she just it's basically like she tased him, really, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't die. Right. So I mean, he gave her permission out the gate. He goes, if you don't like the way I'm doing something, just shoot me. So he knew.
She knew she's like, okay, bet.
I don't know if that was legit permission. He may have been like just saying some things. Like,
right. Just to be like, well, I didn't think you was gonna do it.
Exactly.
And she did it. So
I look forward to seeing episode 2 and their first interaction with each other.
After the shooting interaction. Yeah.
You know what? I'm so used to animes that we won't even see. It won't even be episode 2 won't pick up right up. It'll pick up like a year later, dog. Because that's how I feel the animes are doing these days. Here's looking at you, Attack on Titan, bro. We're seeing season 3 to season 4. I'm like, what is going on? And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. But let's see if we even gonna make it to episode 2. One more. I got one final question for y'all. So I've mentioned a bunch of different movies. Let's talk about the Sybil system. In Minority Report, there was something wrong with the system. In Judge Dredd, there was something wrong with the system. There was really no system, and there's not really a system in place in Blade Runner per se. But the small system that is in place in Blade Runner, there's something wrong with the system. Hell, we mentioned Ghost in the Shell. There's something wrong with the system. So, this is the question. Is Sybil an AI situation or a human-controlled situation? Who's screwing up the system? What are y'all thinking?
In this show?
Yep.
A hacker that we haven't met yet.
You think it's a hacker?
It's always a hacker.
No, they ain't. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. In Minority Report, it wasn't a hacker at all.
I'm calling hacker on this one.
I'm gonna say it's somebody, and maybe it's somebody that's been transformed into AI or something. But I'm gonna guess that it's somebody's ideals of what is right and wrong, and they have put this whole thing into motion. And eventually, they're going to be the ones that's going to try to fight to keep their seat and keep this thing alive. But yeah, I think it was probably some person or something, or there's some sort of like, AI that's been configured based on what George from, 100 years prior thought was right and wrong. And that's what they're living off of now. So I'm going to say it's AI, but it's AI that's been influenced by a person.
Okay.
Kind of like a hive mind kind of vibe from like the DC world.
Okay. So minor history lesson before I get to my answer. So cops. Most people don't know cops didn't really exist until like the late 1800s. Mid to late 1800s. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe say the 1800s. Cops were around specifically for no other reason. One was to catch slaves, and two was to keep a lower class in check. That was it. Because cops policed the lower class to make sure they didn't go after the landowners and the people with money. So, Minority Report, same thing. Judge Dredd, same thing. Even Blade Runner, same thing. So I'm going to go with this is definitely human ran, maybe not one specific person, but a group of people who were trying to keep the lower class in check or to keep themselves safe.
It's the rich folk.
Right. The one percenters. That's
Yeah.
what I feel like this show is going to end up turning into, is that the one percenters. There was a show. This reminds me of another show that was on Netflix called Altered Reality. I want to say it was Altered State or something like that. So basically, when you died, they transferred your soul to another person, and you came back, and you were completely different. Like it was like your body was a shell. It's kind of similar to Ghost in the Shell, and like it was the same thing. So I feel like it's a trope. It may change, but I definitely think it's human based. I don't think it's AI. Because if it was AI, bro, then I guess they would just be telling to shoot everybody. We watched Terminator Zero this year, so
Alien Romulus this year.
Yeah. Shout out, Alien Romulus just hit Disney Plus this week, so y'all can go watch it right now.
There you go.
I always forget the Xenomorph is a Disney princess now, dude.
That's hilarious.
But AI was telling them to shoot people, though. I don't know.
It was.
Maybe. It was.
But is it an AI or is it just an overall system, kind of like the Judge Dredd gun was? Because it's basically like what Judge Dredd was.
Yeah, I don't know. Great question, though.
Hackers.
Rich hackers.
Rich hackers.
Rich hackers.
What the 1%?
Which means they're not hacking; they're paying somebody else to hack for them.
That's right, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're saying
Okay.
now. All right, dude. We figured it all out, bro.
We got it solved.
All
All
right.
We need to watch the rest of this. We know.
Well, gentlemen, comes that time. What we rating this bite, bro? What you got? Daddy Bojangles, what's the bite number you're giving for this first episode?
Really good, solid introduction to this show. Action packed, set the tone really well, dude. I'm going 85.
That's good. I like it. Mr. Longbeard, what you got?
I'm gonna give it a solid 80.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, it's good action, good first episode. I'm very confused, and so it's hard for me to go too crazy with it, considering I have no idea what's happening. But I'm gonna give it an 80 and give it the benefit of the doubt. I feel like this is gonna be solid.
So what's crazy is the episode that we watched prior to this that you were missing from was Don to Don.
Sure.
And we're talking about crazy WTF moments. That was the entire first episode of Don to Don.
Yeah.
Entire first episode. Like, no clue what's going on. Hey, this is some of the craziest things I've ever seen. But it got a great grade. I mean, was that the highest? Was that the second highest, bro? Or was that the highest?
It's because I wasn't here. Robert, I already told him. I was like, I would have humbled that score real quick.
Feel like a solid hater. But you're right. It was a lot of WTF moments, man.
I think these two aren't comparable. Don to Don's like a shonen, and it had a different style, different tone.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about how we praised one show for being completely crazy and kind of off the rails, and this show's crazy and off the rails, but in the complete other direction. And
This
we
show
don't know
makes
what's
you.
going on.
This show makes me think. You know what I mean? Don to Don made me laugh. So yeah,
I definitely did make you laugh. And there was no Turbo Granny moment. So, but keeping in line with what y'all going with, I give it a solid 82. So,
Okay.
so would you
Yeah.
give it? An 80, 82, and you gave it an 85. So
yeah, we got an average of 82 on
that's
this
what
one.
I figured. 82. So that means it's a bite worth tasting, man. Y'all need to go ahead and take a bite of it. If you haven't watched it, and definitely check it out, especially if you like thrillers and cyberpunkish type ordeals. If you're a fan of Ghost in the Shell, or if you're a fan of Akira or Edge, what was it called? Was it called Edge Runner? Was it Cyberpunk Edge Runner? Or was that the anime?
Yeah. Yep.
You should definitely check it out because it has a lot in common with Cyberpunk Edge Runner. It also had a lot in common with the Blade Runner anime. If y'all got to check that out, which is pretty cool as well. So definitely check that out. Y'all got any closing thoughts about this anime?
I'm definitely at least gonna watch episode 2 and maybe go from there because there was enough that I'm curious about to know more. And also, dude, man, I want to see more of the gruesomeness, like when that gun transformed and they killed old boy. That was absolutely gnarly looking. So yeah, I want to see more of that. Let's go.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm in for one more episode, at least one more, to give it a try and see what's happening. I'm interested in this story. I think it's cool. I gave it an 80, but it's a good 80. I'm interested in this one for sure.
The ratings are super duper high. The ratings, I think, for season 1 seem to drop between 8.1 and 8.7. Knowing that I am a super duper large Ghost in the Shell fan, I'm probably gonna watch the rest of it.
Heck yeah.
I like this type of stuff, man. I'm always here for it. And to be honest, man, it's a nice little break from all the Christmas movies that'll be playing in my house, bro. I get tired of the Hallmark channel around here, buddy. Like, so streaming 24/7 in my house, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be a nice little break. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely getting to 2, and if I like 2, then I'm probably gonna watch the rest of it. So
yeah,
Gotcha, dude.
heck yeah.
all right, well there you go. With a score of 82, definitely go ahead and check it out. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our videos. No, tell a friend if you like anime tofu, man. If you like us as the new big 3, because we are the new big 3, and I don't mean that in wide back mode. Even though we might be a little wide back this Thursday, it's okay. one day every once in a while is okay. Make sure y'all join, follow us, check us out. Now, let's we're gonna take a couple minutes, man, as we are getting into the holiday. Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourself, eat, be merry, be thankful for something. If the turkey is gotten salt and pepper, just pass on it, man. Tell them no thank you. If they don't season their food, DiGiorno got you. Go get you one of them pizzas. Because it's 2024, bro. We shouldn't be eating unseasoned Thanksgiving food.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't be thankful for the food in front of you, then leave and go somewhere else, dog. Find a black friend. Find a Hispanic friend. Find some white friends that can cook, that use seasoning. But if they don't, man, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Tell Granny no. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I'm thankful for Turbo Granny this year. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but that ain't everybody else's granny. And if you can't be helped, just give Big Bruh Seasoning a call. We got you. We got you on deck. On deck.
Do it.
You guys looking forward? Y'all looking forward to Thanksgiving? Who? Where you at? Where you at, Mr. Longbeard? Since I know, are you coming down? Are you having it at your house?
I'm going to Gulf Shores. Me, the wife, and the kids, bro. We going to Gulf Shores, bro. We're leaving Wednesday, being there Thanksgiving.
All right, Mr. Daddy Bojangles. I'm not fool. I ain't even doing this. Since we're going to be humbled and be here in town with our families. You know what I'm saying? Not looking at the Gulf Coast. Where you at? Where you at for Thanksgiving?
Man, we always go. We're going. We go up to our parents' house, man. Just hang out, chill with the fam. I'll kick it with my brother, see my niece and nephews, dude. Just have a good time, man. It's time with the family. I'll fall asleep. Thanks to the NFL for putting the Cowboys and the Giants on at like 4:00, so I can already sense the nap I'm gonna take if that's my football game this year.
Bro,
So
the pettiness of kicking some.
it's nice of them to put that game on midday after everyone's already had their big ass meal.
How you feel about that, Mr. Longbeard? Like that is a whole boy. That is disrespectful.
There's nothing I can argue with, though.
Both of those teams are trash, bro. I can't
Cowboys
believe it.
bad, bro. They're so bad that they keep saying how bad they are from the sideline. You keep seeing all those things where they keep having lip sync professionals sit there and read what they're saying, and they trash themselves. What can I say? Right? I can't defend them. They're trashing themselves.
That's true. It is true. Hey, that's all right. I'm a Niners fan, bro. My team ain't too much better, so I can't really say nothing this season. We went from, hey, y'all in the Super Bowl to, well, y'all be in the bowl, the chili bowl, the toilet bowl, but it ain't going to be super. I tell you that right now. No, it is not happening.
Yeah.
Guess we'll be stargazing from the sideline, buddy. All three of us.
It's all right.
I guess we'll be cheering on either the Ravens or the Chiefs again. So here we go.
Again.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. Okay, never mind. We're not a sports podcast.
Hey, we're not a sports podcast. We're an anime podcast, and I look forward to what we're going to cover next week, boys.
Which is Solo Leveling. Movie coming up soon, so why not? Why not dive into this particularly strange-ish world? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. With that being said, final thoughts? Anybody got any final thoughts for the holidays? Let's start with Daddy Bojangles, because I'm not even going to start. Well, y'all already know why I don't start with Mr. Longbeard.
Oh, no.
So.
My final thought is be sure, if you haven't already, man, like and subscribe to us on YouTube. That really helps us out. And give our episode a share.
All right. My final thoughts is apparently, according to Virgil, you don't want to hang out with white people on Thanksgiving. So, hey, y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Oh, no, we ain't peacing out yet because I ain't done.
I don't even get a plate from Virgil on Thanksgiving. I've been friends with him for decades. It's unreal.
That's your fault. Didn't nobody, I mean, you've been offered, so after a while, you just stop turning it down. Hey, bro, if you like your meat unseasoned, pause. I'm saying, that's fine. No, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? You know where I live. That is not what I said. I said find you some white folks that like to season. That was it. Like watching Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, there's a whole lot of people out here who don't season their chicken. So I damn sure know they don't season their turkey. Mm-hmm. And bro, if you ever come to me and they're like, man, what you put on that turkey? Ah, man, I put some mayonnaise and some salt and pepper. Hey, bro, I'm slapping you. Slap.
If you put mayonnaise on anything,
I'm slapping.
That's right.
That's it. I'm just going to let you know. So all I'm saying is, hey, bro, let your back get wide on Thursday. But please let it get wide for food that is seasoned, dog. Stop. Don't let your back get wide for unseasoned turkey and bland mashed potatoes, dog. Stop. There's no reason for your back to be wide and your food nasty. That's it. What I got. See you next week.